for today's card, I started off with Paper Smooch's Needle Little Love stamp set. Say that 3 times fast. And grabbed the little heart stamp with the stitching down the middle of it. And I'd cut a strip of CC Designs Copic Quality White cardstock and inked up the stamp with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And this normally would be fairly easy to line up for me. It was a little bit more difficult because I'm kind of doing everything off to the side when I film videos, just so it's in the frame. But when it's right in front of you, it's so easy to line stuff up like this. Like, you just make sure you've got it straight on the block, especially if it has grid lines. And then I just line it up below each one. So yeah, super simple. Just for me, I'm doing everything on quite an angle, so it takes a little bit more eyeballing to get it straight. But yeah, I just inked it up 4 times, stripped and stamped it down the middle of that strip of cardstock. And then I did the exact same thing on a larger piece of white cardstock that I'm going to use on the inside of the card. Decided to keep everything kind of simple this time around. So yeah, exact same thing, lined it up and stamped it 4 times just along the edge of the larger piece of cardstock. So then once I've got it all stamped, I'm going to use my Copic markers to color in all the little hearts. So for all the pink hearts, I started with RV10, my lightest pink, and colored in all the hearts I was going to color. And then I took RV21, which is just a shade darker, and added a little bit of that. And then after the RV21, I went in with RV23. So added that, and then I went back with the 21 again, blended it out a little bit, and then blended it all out together with the RV10, which was super quick and simple since they're pretty close together on the spectrum. And then of course for the reds, I'm using my go-to red combo, which is the R24, and then going in with my R27, adding a bit of that, and then adding R29. And then I didn't even bother going back with the R27 because the ink was still wet. And I've said it a million times, these 3 colors just blend together without an issue at all. So I just went back in with the R24 and blended it all together. And then I had gone outside the lines in a couple spots. So I just took my 0, like my colorless blender, to push the color deeper into the cardstock so it's not as noticeable. And then finally, I didn't want to leave it as is, they just kind of needed a little extra something. So I took my C3 and kind of went around the outside edges of the hearts, and then I blended that out a little bit with my C1, and then finally after the C1 I just took my C00 to blend it just a little bit more, just to give it a little something. So I've got a little bit of shading around them, but nothing too extreme. And then for the card front itself, I took a piece of red cardstock and I decided to use CC Designs sawtooth die to cut it, kind of thinking like it looks like it's been cut with pinking shears, you know, because this whole set is kind of sewing themed. So I did that, and then I just put it on top of a foamy mouse pad. And then I'm just using my Tim Holtz ruler, and with the little guidelines, it lines up perfectly, and a paper piercer. You can use a tack for something like this, or just a large pin. But yeah, pierce the holes all along the edge. Again, kind of sewing themed. So I got that the way I wanted it. And then I'm going to adhere that to the little strip of hearts. So again, just kind of lining it up on my craft mat to get things lined up straight. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to adhere that to the white piece of card front. And then I'm going to grab some Doodlebug red twine, like it's the Ladybug Baker's twine. So wrap that around the outer edge of the strip of hearts, just wrap it around 3 times, and then just fiddle around with it a little bit and tie it into a bow. So yeah, using your fingers to hold it in place so it doesn't come loose. Then yeah, always pinch the knot when you're adjusting bows, because otherwise you're going to do it. So that was that. And then for the sentiment, again, it's from the same little stamp set. So I lined it up on the acrylic block and then inked it up with the Memento ink again. It kind of takes a little more fiddling when you're using brand new stamps that haven't been inked up, especially the clear ones. So I usually kind of rub it a little bit onto the ink pad and then tap it a few times till I get a good ink coverage. And then stamp that on the lower corner of the card front. And of course you can't leave that little heart just blank like that, so I just used the same reds to color it in. So quickly added the R24, the R27, the R29, and then just quickly blended it out with the R24 again. And that finished off the card front. So flip it around. As always, a little bit of Scotch tape so that the ATG adhesive just glides right over it. So put the adhesive on, and then I'm going to adhere that to the card base, which is Stampin' Up's Pretty in Pink cardstock. And that's it for the card front. And then for the inside, it's just a matter of adhering that piece that I had stamped and colored earlier. And that's all there was to it. Like I said, just a super simple, fun card for today. As always, there will be a link below this video to my blog post with links to all the supplies used. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.